What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tastily Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about post-E3 stuff, but if you missed our Tasty Cast on E3, all things E3, we talk about E3 for like 2.5 hours. Make sure to check that out in the link above. For a first bit of news, bring it in.
So the developers behind the game No Man's Sky came out and said why they weren't at E3 this year, stating that instead of going and creating more hype for their game, they decided to put that time into continuing working on the project. Basically came out and said that they want to make sure that they get this right and that they need to get this game right at this point. So,
Which is something we've discussed so many fucking times. It's stupid. Didn't they also say that they could have, spent the money and went to E3 or spent time on the game?
yes.
And yeah. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I think at this point we've seen enough advertising for it anyways. So, and it's
The hype's
supposed to be coming out relatively soon. So we don't need, what is it? This will be like the third E3 that they would have been at. I mean, we don't need that anymore. The game's around the corner. I definitely would rather see a polished game. So
Definitely. Chris?
I completely agree. It's better to put your money into finishing a product than trying to show it off as a partially finished product.
Definitely. And always more development's good. We benefit from it. It's a smart decision on their part. And like you said, they don't need to advertise for the game anymore. Everybody knows about it. If they don't know about it, they will know about it soon. So, yeah, good on them for having good priorities on the development of their game. And I can't wait for it to come out.
yeah.
First segment of news, the creator of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, has come out and said that the next Zelda they're going to develop, he's hoping to implement multiplayer. They want to take what they've learned from Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a lot, looks like, because the amount of things they've added to that game is insane, and make multiplayer games, or make a multiplayer game out of it. What do you guys think about, first off, another Zelda already being planned, but secondly, they already have multiplayer Zeldas on handheld. What do you guys think of the idea of that being in a fully fleshed out 3D world?
I just wonder how they're going to do it, because, I mean, is it going to be another thing like Link of the Four Swords, or just all Link running around together trying to slash things? Or are you all going to be different characters? Are you all going to be the same area? Or is it just going to be super diverse and expansive like the new Zelda's supposed to be? I mean, for me, there's not enough information to really have a super strong opinion one way or another.
What would be your ideal multiplayer for
There
Zelda?
wouldn't be.
No?
I think Zelda's a single-player game.
You wouldn't want to play the new Zelda with your friends?
No.
No? Really?
They just get in my way of solving puzzles.
Group puzzles, though.
But say, what if the puzzles are designed for multiple? I mean, imagine going into a dungeon and having to be in separate rooms.
Oh, that's so cheesy.
What?
Oh, I hate that kind of stuff. I hate that kind of stuff.
I think it'd be fun.
Relying on people who don't know what they're doing annoys me.
I know what I'm doing.
That is very elitist.
It's fair. It's fair point. It's fair point. As a guy who has fallen off the Zelda bandwagon years ago and is actually very excited about the new game, I would love to see what they already have with this game with multiplayer. I wouldn't want to see multiple links because that's just cheesy. It works on handheld. It's fun. It's cute. Whatever. But I would like to see multiple characters. I think the group puzzle aspect would be neat because that's it's important to the series, but also boss battles with all the mechanics stuff like that with 4 people or 2 people, whatever, would be awesome.
Yeah.
Horseback combat with people on the ground, stuff like that would be really neat. I think it'd be really cool. And if their new console, the NX, could handle it, that'd be awesome.
Well, and also speaking of the boss battles, I mean, the Zelda series is known for having very mechanic heavy boss battles, and for someone who's such a huge fan of Monster Hunter, I don't see how you could hate that.
I solo most of the stuff in Monster Hunter.
Sure, but you also play it with people, and you don't.
And they
bitch
hold
about
me
it.
back. They hold me back.
Shut up. I'm excited by the prospect of it, as long as they show the same sort of advancement that they're showing with this game.
That goes into what I was thinking is, of course I'm excited for multiplayer, but the bigger thing I'm excited for is ambition from Nintendo. actually doing stuff that everybody else is doing already. It shows that they're going, hey, we can make fucking modern day games too, make them really fun, and cater to everybody, not just the hardcore Nintendo crowd that are okay with the same thing over and over and over again. So I think this new Zelda is a huge step in the right direction. I'm actually super stoked for it. It looks awesome. And them making a open world, if it would be open world, multiplayer game is something they haven't really delved into, and it shows even more ambition.
I just wonder, I just keep coming back to wondering who the extra characters would be that you play as.
No, they could create new ones.
What if
Yeah,
nobody's
but
Link?
I mean, if nobody's Link, that would be interesting. But
What if Link's the king and there's lore behind that?
who would want to play all the extra characters if they're nobodies?
I would, because I
But
still
what
play
if
the
they
game.
become somebody's?
If they have storylines to them that make them like someone interesting, that'd be cool. But if they were like characters like Sarah, that's dumb. I'm sorry.
Who's Sarah?
It's that girl from Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Green hair, right?
It's been a
Yeah,
while. It's
green
been a
girl
while.
who teaches
Yeah.
him how to play
Yeah.
songs.
Well, like,
Anyways,
one of the
yeah.
games had like that weird little bat chick, where the hell that thing was with the mask thing. What the fuck was that?
Bat
She might not be a
chick.
bat chick, but she looks
You mean
like
the
some fucking
bird?
little demon thing. I have no idea.
Oh, Midna.
Midna.
You're talking about Midna.
Yeah, maybe.
She rode on Link when he was a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midna.
Yeah, maybe you could play as characters like that. Maybe you all have different abilities to help each other out.
She's so strong in her full form.
Maybe it's just
I'm not saying
Bushido
her, I'm
Blade
saying
with Zelda
something like
characters.
that.
Oh, maybe.
But overall, we're excited at the idea of it.
Yeah.
Me personally, more so for the prospect of Nintendo actually upping their fucking game after so long.
Chris hates everything.
I'm
Chris-
just skeptical.
Chris hates it. But if it does come out, you will play it by yourself.
By myself, and then maybe I'll
then you'll play with
I'll
us.
probably give it a group a
And then-
chance.
and then
probably
a
hate
group.
it.
You're gonna play with us. You're gonna have a blast, and it's gonna be fun.
Like all those shooters you hate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All of them.
On to the next bit of news.
So, according to, I believe, Valve, a third of their company now is completely devoted to both virtual reality and augmented reality now. I believe that's around 100 people.
That's all they
And
have.
they have 300 people, roughly,
Wow,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Tiny.
For how big they are, that's fucking small.
But, so yeah, essentially 33% of their company is completely just devoted to, essentially, this new tech. What do you guys think about a company that used to be known for making games off the Source engine, more currently known for obviously Steam, now putting such a heavy push into virtual reality and augmented reality?
I think Half-Life 3 is never going to happen. And I also think it's smart because as essentially what they are now, the biggest online portal to buy games, I mean, they own PC gaming. It's smart for them to be jumping in headfirst with what essentially is going to be the future of gaming. It makes complete sense. With that development, are they also potentially working on games for VR?
They did say.
I feel like they would be. And if Half-Life 3 did get made,
That's the next Left 4 Dead right there.
that'd be awesome. No, it makes sense. It's smart. That's a lot of people, though. I'm really surprised by that. So they must really be invested in VR. But with the Vive being connected with Valve and Steam, it makes sense. And once VR becomes affordable, I mean, they're already there and already working on it. So it makes sense. It's I just hope it doesn't hurt development of other things. I know Left 4 Dead 3's development was leaked a couple years back, and yeah, they're smart. They got it handled. What do you guys think?
I mean, a third of your resources, that's you're really, really invested into doing
Yeah.
it. Which is, I find it kind of promising and exciting that they're doing that, because, I mean, I've never played a bad game from them.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're mostly trying to just develop new games for VR, or if they're trying to convert some of their older games into VR, which would be really interesting. But it's risky,
Yeah.
but it could pay off a lot.
Definitely.
Well, and like you said, the future, obviously.
The future.
You have so many people now. I mean, we talked about it the other day with Carmack jumping ship from id. He's been there forever
That's another huge thing.
to
It's
go
like,
work on Oculus.
Yeah, one of the greatest like engine creators in gaming history left his company he's famous of or from and jump to VR.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, there's something promising there.
And you're seeing that all over the industry right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the amount of like support that VR is getting is, I mean, like we just said, a third of a company now. All of a sudden, a company that was literally just essentially making money off of a platform and periodically working on some hardware and some software. It's nuts. So
I do like, though, that they're not just releasing some like janky fucking Vive real quick and then just, all right, buy it. Like, it's cool that they're
it's the most
supporting
expensive thing
it
out there.
Yeah, they're supporting it, but they're their company. I mean, it's good all around. I just, like I said, I hope they manage their resources well enough to create what originally they were famous for, which is games.
Well, and obviously they get funding through HTC for it
Yeah.
too. So
Right.
Any last thoughts on Steam and Valve and VR?
more VR.
More VR. I'm getting VR soon.
It's the future.
I'm so stoked. For our last bit of news, the Oculus Rift has dropped its DRM for its games, and they are now accessible to all VR, mainly the HTC Vive. Originally, they blocked their games access to the Vive, but not vice versa. Oculus was able to play Vive games, but they have realized this isn't such a good PR move, and they decided to drop it. What do you guys think about them making this very, very smart move?
What,
In my opinion.
What's really kind of interesting is when we were looking up stories, I saw a bunch of them about certain companies coming out and like saying that, not directly pointing the finger to Oculus, but basically going, oh, well, DRM and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and like restricting the new technology, blah blah, here and there. It's just there was a lot of like the actual like the business aspect where people were going, no. So I mean, obviously that really helped.
Well, it's
I'm sure
also-
make their decision.
It's also nice too because the guy, something Lucky or whatever the hell his name is, who originally started the whole Oculus Rift thing, he said originally that he didn't want VR to be held back by DRM, which makes him look horrible when Facebook's like, we need to lock this shit down.
Yeah.
This is our stuff. So it's a really good way to save face when not he like he did it, but it's good for their image too,
Yes.
that they drop that so quickly, because VR is not in everyone's house yet and won't be for a while, but people are buying them now, and now it matters. Now it matters if you drop it or not. It's good they did it now, because like I'm also in the market to buy VR. I'm going to be doing it soon, and I was already under the idea that that sucks. I won't be able to play Oculus games, but whatever. I get it. And then they dropped it, so awesome. I'm stoked, and I think it's positive. It's really good that they did it.
I think that this is kind of like more of an idealistic view on things, but eventually you're going to see it with all gaming in general. All games are going to be compatible with all systems. You're not going to get system exclusives anymore. Everything's going to be cross-compatible.
Yeah.
Eventually you're just going to have, like everybody keeps talking about, the box.
Yep.
Everything's just going to be on the box. You're just taking the baby steps to get there. And by blocking people from doing that, you're blocking progress, basically.
Well, and Oculus is also, I mean, when they sell a game that's made for Oculus and it's on Vive, they're making money from that anyway. So
Yeah.
Same way Sony makes money from digital sales, Xbox, Steam,
Yeah.
and all of them.
Exactly.
They usually get, I think it's 30 to 40% of the game sale. So
Yeah.
There's no point in cloising yourself away in a room being like, my games. No one else can share.
you make more money off software than hardware anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on that?
Nope, good on you guys for getting rid of the DRM.
Definitely.
Nobody likes DRM.
I will be a happy consumer. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Taste Tuesday. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like or check out other episodes. Like them too. Do that. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Taste of the Game. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to stay around this week for Loot Chest. We'll be talking about favorite things we saw from E3. But until then, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And take it easy, guys.